Humans Are Unnerving, Part 6. A story by user ZombieRedditer9188. Alan fired at the dashers, watching them topple to the ground before focusing on the heavy variants. While they were slow, he preferred focusing on his more difficult problems first. Dash was fun. More fun than he remembered. Maybe it was because he was playing with Reika. Alan smiled. Reika was nice. Very nice. She's so diligent, kind, empathetic, and good at dash. His thinking was interrupted by a volley of plasma beams getting fired at him, and he just barely managed to activate his shield barrier just in time. He began firing back, thinking to himself, only 6 more rounds to go. Reika winced as a charge beam hit her chest, but she managed to take out her attackers. Round 5. Reika stared in bewilderment. Every time she shot an attacker, another seemed to take its place, and she was slowly getting overwhelmed. "Alan, I need backup!" she yelled, and soon her coworker was right beside her. She watched as he calmly began firing, his face eerily lit up by the blue glow of plasma. "What are you doing?" he said, suddenly turning to her. "Help me shoot them," Alan said, and Reika flinched at his voice before firing at the attackers. She was much less accurate, her hands trembling. "I'll focus on the heavy variants in the back. Can you get rid of the quick ones?" "Can you get rid of the quick ones?" he asked, not facing her, and Reika cleared her throat. Yeah, I can do that." She managed to quickly compose herself, shooting at the lightly armored bots, dashing towards them. Reika suddenly stumbled forwards as plasma beams hit her back, and she realized the enemies were behind them. "Alan, they're behind," she managed to say before he interrupted her. "Good. Now that we're surrounded, we can fire in any direction." He grinned almost maniacally, and she froze, unable to move. Alan noticed her staring blankly into space, and he turned to look at her. Reika, what are you doing?" Alan yelled, rushing up to her and activating his shield belt. "Reika!" Alan gently shook her, and she looked at his blank face. "I'm gonna be honest, you've been acting off. Are you okay?" he whispered. And just like that, her body went from frozen to warm. "Alan, Alan looked at Reika curiously, and she managed to finish her sentence. "I'm scared of you," she blurted out. Reika watched as Alan's face went from worried to confused, and he opened his mouth. "Is this about yesterday?" he murmured. She nodded silently, unable to speak. "Reika, I assure you, what I saw disturbed me as well," he said. Then how'd you look so calm?" Reika asked, and Alan looked away and mumbled something under his breath. "What?" she asked, and he looked up, blushing slightly. "Don't take this the wrong way, Reika, but I was trying to act strong for you," he whispered. There was a pause as Reika stared into Alan's eyes. Not that you need someone to be strong for you. You're very independent," Alan stammered, flustered. No, that's fine. That's really sweet, actually." Reika smiled, and Alan relaxed. Reika, a little space," he said, leaning back. And Reika realized she was leaning towards him, almost touching him. "Sorry," she blushed, taking a step back. It's okay, but, Alan gestured around them, and Reika turned to see dozens of robots aiming their guns at them, waiting for Alan's shield barrier to go down. "I think we lost," Alan chuckled. "I'm sorry," Reika mumbled guiltily. "It's not your fault," Alan answered, opening his UI and ending the game. Reika let out a sigh of relief as she took off her headset, panting. "That was intense," she said, and Alan chuckled. "Intense but fun," Alan said, hastily taking off his VR suit and shoes. Reika pulled out her phone, looking at the time. 10:14. "So, Alan, it's not exactly lunch yet. So if you're not busy, want to come over to my place?" she asked. While a part of her regretted saying that, she also wanted to hear Alan's response. "Sure," he answered. And Reika let out an internal sigh of relief. "All right, let's go," she said. If you're new here, welcome aboard. Check out the description for the story, and join the Discord if you like. Consider supporting the channel and the author as well. It's a dangerous world out there, but remember to be brave and look up to seek the stars.